How does an entire legion, 10,000 battle-hardened Roman soldiers, disappear without a trace? Not into the depths of history's forgotten wars, but into the heart of an empire Rome never touched. China. A legend, a fabrication, or a historical truth so strange it was buried in the margins of history? Ancient records, unexplained DNA, and battlefield tactics whisper the same story. A forgotten march, a silent war, and a legacy hidden in plain sight. This is the untold odyssey of the lost Roman legion, and history may not be what we think it is. 53 BCE. Rome is at its height, powerful, unstoppable. But for one man, power isn't enough. Marcus Licinius Crassus, the richest man in Rome, has everything, except a victory that will etch his name into history. His enemies, Caesar, Pompey, have their glories. But Crassus, he is remembered for gold, not conquest. He is desperate to change that. And desperate men make mistakes. 40,000 Roman soldiers cross into Parthian lands, their eagles glinting under the sun. Crassus is told, warned, that Parthia is not like Rome's past enemies. They do not fight on Rome's terms. Someone is watching, waiting. Then the ground trembles. Before the Romans can react, the silence shatters. Parthian horse archers strike with lethal precision. Roman shields lock, too late. Soldiers fall, impaled before they can even see their enemy. And then, the drums of war grow louder. The Battle of Carrhae is over. 20,000 Romans are dead. Their commander, Crassus, beheaded. But for 10,000 survivors, the nightmare is only beginning. They expect execution, crucifixion, slavery. But the Parthians have other plans. Rather than kill them, General Serena makes a strategic decision. Rome's finest soldiers won't be wasted. They will be repurposed. Parthia's eastern frontier is exposed. Nomadic raiders from the steppes, Scythians, Yuezhi, threaten the Silk Road's riches. And who better to hold the line than men trained in the art of Roman defense? They are no longer Roman. They are no longer free. They are soldiers of an empire that shattered their own. We know that captured soldiers were often used as border troops. But here's where the mystery begins. Because these men, 10,000 of them, vanished from historical records. Did they die in obscurity? Were they wiped out in some forgotten skirmish? Or did they march even further? Because 17 years later, something impossible happens on the battlefield of Zhizhi. 36 BCE, the Han Dynasty marches west. General Chen Tang, defying imperial orders, leads a bold campaign against the Xiongnu warlord Shiji. His enemy is ruthless, his fortress impenetrable. But there is something else on this battlefield, something that should not be here. Among Shiji's forces, a strange sight. Troops standing in tight, disciplined formation, shields locked, spears braced, their ranks unbreakable. Chinese historians call it the fish scale formation. But anyone trained in the art of war knows this is no fish scale. This is the testudo, the unyielding Roman tortoise formation, a tactic never before seen in China. Shiji is no ordinary Xiongnu warlord. Unlike his kin, who live as nomads, he builds a fortified city, complete with stone walls and defensive towers. A strategy not native to the steppes. The fortress, too, is different. Roman different. The walls stand in a structured pattern. The defenses, foreign, precise. But it's what waits inside the fortress that baffles the Han generals. Because Shiji's forces fight like no steppe warriors they have ever faced. Nomadic warriors rely on speed, hit-and-run attacks. But here they stand their ground, rigid, unyielding. And then, the unthinkable. A formation known only to one civilization, Rome. This is not Xiongnu strategy. No nomadic army fights like this. So the question is, who are these soldiers? The testudo was a hallmark of Roman warfare. It required years of drilling, step, brace, shield up, lock in. A chaotic force couldn't improvise this. These men had been trained in the Roman way. If they were indeed Roman, how did they end up here? And if they made it this far, what else did they leave behind? The Han Dynasty has won. General Chen Tang's forces lay waste to Zhiji's stronghold. But among the prisoners, a mystery deepens. These men do not belong here. Tall men with deep-set eyes, high noses, a way of fighting unfamiliar to the Han. Who were these warriors? How did they fight? And why? Would they end up in China? The Han Dynasty has crushed Zhiji's forces, but what they discover in the aftermath is unexpected. These warriors are foreign. They do not look like the Xiongnu, nor do they fight like them. Their tactics, their discipline, unmistakably Roman. Rather than slaughter them, the Han Dynasty chooses a different fate. These soldiers, trained in the art of Roman warfare, are repurposed, not as prisoners, but as protectors. Their destination? Liqian. Liqian, a name that sparks endless debate. Some scholars believe it is a transliteration of a Latin word, legion, coincidence, or something more. For centuries, the people of Liqian have puzzled outsiders. Their features, strikingly different from those of surrounding Chinese populations, have fueled speculation. Some believe they are descendants of those lost Roman soldiers. Ancient Chinese records confirm their existence. Tall foreigners with deep-set eyes, high noses, and a strange but disciplined approach to war. The description is eerily Roman. Roman legions were master builders. Their forts followed a strict layout, square formations, evenly spaced towers, and standardized defensive structures. In Liqian, excavations have uncovered the same designs. Glass beads from the Mediterranean, metal fittings that match Roman craftsmanship. These relics, buried beneath the sands of China, tell a story few expected to hear. We know the Parthians resettled Roman prisoners in Margiana, on their eastern frontier. But from there, the records go silent. If even a fraction of those men escaped or were later captured by the Han, Liqian is exactly where they could have ended up. This is where the legend gains weight. These people didn't just vanish. Their DNA carries traces of Mediterranean ancestry, completely distinct from neighboring populations. Could a Roman legion have truly survived here? The clues are scattered, the evidence compelling. But one thing is certain: history is never as simple as the textbooks claim. In 2005, a scientific study set out to answer a question that had lingered for centuries. Were the people of Liqian linked to a long-lost Roman legion? The results? Stunning. The DNA analysis revealed something unexpected. 56% of tested Liqian residents carry genetic markers commonly found in Mediterranean populations. But does this confirm Roman ancestry? Or could there be another explanation? Genetics alone cannot prove that these people are descended from Roman soldiers. The Silk Road was a vast highway of trade and migration. People from Persia, Central Asia, and even Europe traveled these routes for centuries, intermarrying along the way. Perhaps the genetic markers in Liqian's people came from Silk Road merchants. Perhaps they came from Persian traders, or Greek artisans, or Scythian nomads. Or perhaps they came from something far older, a military force lost to time. Beyond genetics, there are the artifacts: square-shaped forts, Roman-style bricks, even pieces of armor that bear resemblance to Mediterranean designs. These artifacts suggest Roman influence, but influence or presence? That is the question. One piece of evidence alone is not enough, but together, the puzzle begins to take shape. Foreign soldiers described in ancient Chinese records, Roman military formations used in battle, Mediterranean genetic markers, Roman-style forts. It may not be proof beyond doubt, but it is compelling. So, what is the truth? Are the people of Liqian the descendants of Rome's lost legion? Or is history playing tricks on us, blending trade, migration, and legend into one? The final answer may always lie just beyond our reach. The lost Roman legion did not vanish into thin air. They may have shed their armor, lost their Latin tongue, and swapped the standards of Rome for the banners of the Han. But lost. Number lost implies an ending. What if this was simply a beginning? Centuries after the Battle of Zhizhi, Chinese military records describe a battlefield tactic uncannily similar to the testudo, a formation designed not by nomadic horsemen, but by disciplined infantry. Coincidence? Or a Roman ghost imprinting itself on Chinese warfare? Tactics outlive soldiers. Strategies endure longer than empires. Rome's lost warriors may have perished, but their way of war may have found new hands to wield it. But here's the problem. There is no definitive Roman inscription, no eagle standard buried beneath the sands of Liqian, no final, undeniable proof. The trail fades before the last answer is written. History is not always written in stone. Sometimes it's hidden in bloodlines, in battle tactics, in the echoes of ancient roads. The lost Roman legion may not have vanished. They may still be with us today, silent, unseen, but never truly gone. What do you think? Could Rome's lost soldiers have found a new empire to serve? Join us for more hidden histories that challenge what we think we know about the past.